Minister of State for Labor and Employment and one of the spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Mr. Festus Keyamo, has called for the arrest of the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, and his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, for allegedly making incendiary comments and claims capable of causing an insurrection against the government. Keyamo, in a petition addressed to the Director General of the Department of State Services dated March 23, 2023, called on the secret police to charge Obi and Baba Ahmed to court for their conduct, which he says was akin to incitement and treasonable felony. But the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council dismissed the allegations against the party's candidates. It accused Keyamo of selfishness, saying he felt content to look the other way when his party and its supporters were making inciting statements in Lagos State during the last elections. Well, let's have a conversation with Labour Party spokesman Nana Kazaure on the petition by the APC's Presidential Campaign Council spokesman Festus Keyamo asking the DSS to arrest Peter Obi and his running mate for treason. Nana Kazaure, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, good afternoon. What's your response to this petition by Festus Keyamo asking the DSS to arrest Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed for treason?
It's very, very clear that Mr. Keyamo is just trying very hard to deflect from the injuries caused by his party on the democratic process of for Nigeria. And it's sad because he even went as far as saying that we should separate him from his office. We can't separate Festus Keyamo from being spokesperson. We can't separate Festus Keyamo from being a senior advocate. We can't separate him from being a serving minister for labor and employment. And the only crime that we have committed is that we have gone to court to challenge the process that INEC went through. What Festus Keyamo forgot to add in his statement was that they should also charge the umpire of INEC to court as well, because we are saying exactly the same thing that INEC said. The umpire of INEC, Professor Mahmood himself, said that the process was flawed and there were glitches, which is not what Nigerians were promised when we were going to the polls. Festus Keyamo forgot that people in his camp, for example, MC Oluomo, came out and said that, you know, if you're not voting in a particular way, don't bother to come out and vote. Festus Keyamo forgets that people were killed, people were maimed, people were stopped from voting because they looked like a particular ethnic group. All these things were an infringement on the democratic process. And somebody who is a senior advocate of Nigeria should not be seen as one who wants to truncate that process. So let's assume that Festus Keyamo is joking.
Or at the very worst, he's experiencing what psychologists would say is projection. And, you know, this petition to the DSS for treason, it doesn't seem very reconciliatory, which is the message that they have been trying to push towards us.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much for bringing that up, because in my view, after they have benefited from the mayhem that was caused by the so-called free and fair elections, which Nigerians know did not happen on the 25th, and even more recently, the gubernatorial elections. And is that how they want to go about the process of the so-called healing that they were offering Nigerians in their press briefing? And so it's counterproductive when you come out and then you now say that people questioning the process, people questioning the system, which you know, when you question the system, it's the tenet of democracy. And so he's the person that is infringing on the rights, on the democratic rights of Nigerians. And the mind boggles really, and I'm wondering what he's on about. It's sad. It's a sad moment. Interesting times for Nigeria. But when I read the news, it was I was very sad, because what they're telling us they are just, Tinubu is just the president-elect. So what they're telling us is that they're going to run, is he telling us that he's going to run a government filled with tyranny and a government that's going to keep suppressing the voice of the people, infringing on Section 39, if I'm not mistaken, of the Nigerian Constitution that gives us free speech? I really wonder.
Now, I'm going to take a part of the petition and I would like you to react to it. A part of the petition says that he has it on good authority that Obi and Baba Ahmed have allegedly camped some youths in a popular hotel in Abuja with the sole aim of instructing them to push out inciting social media messages in order to cause panic and fear and incite people to riot. How would you respond to this?
First and foremost, that is a lie in itself. It's not the truth. My principal, whom I like to call His Excellency Peter Obi, has asked for calm, he has asked for restraint, and he has said that he's going to, and he wants the rule of law to take its course. These are the same people that said we were just 4 people tweeting in a room and we should not be taken seriously. Well, we now know, they now know, a strong message was sent to them that the obedience and those who support the Labour Party are not 4 people tweeting in a room. So we must, without any shadow of doubt, just discountenance that kind of talk. There aren't any people put up in any room who are there to incite the polity. That's not true. Rather, what we have seen is there are videos of even his own principal telling people, snatch it, you must take it, you must grab it, and, and that is exactly what happened during the elections. You cannot put that on Peter Obi or Dr. Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed. It's just preposterous. It's downright wrong.
And while the spokespersons of
unfounded, totally unfounded.
While the spokespersons of the APC are releasing statements and seemingly stoking political fires, it seems the president-elect is abroad, or maybe he is, or maybe he's not, but those are the reports are that he has taken a break to recover and rest after a very stressful election cycle, very understandable. And like I said, he spoke about reconciliation and moving forward. In that spirit, trusting that all is well, what can be done in order to start to put some of these flames out for the Labour Party specifically? Because one can only speak about themselves. You can hope that other people would act responsibly, but it is on the Labour Party maybe to show the bigger man, the bigger manism. I'm at a loss for words now, but what is the Labour Party going to do in order to live up to that and try to be the bigger man in this situation and reduce some of this heat that we're experiencing?
We've always been a cut above the rest. And so we're not in, there's nowhere where you saw videos go viral of anybody that supported the Labour Party asking people not to come out to vote, telling people from a particular tribe that live in a particular geographical part of Nigeria, Lagos to be specific. At no point in time did you hear us threaten people or ask people not to come out and exercise what is their fundamental human right. So that in itself speaks for the Labour Party. We have always been reconciliatory. The fact that our principal even asked for restraint and calm and let the judicial process take its course, that in itself is reconciliatory. Nigerians, unfortunately, and I would say many people who form the leadership are very used to being dictators, and we have to choose, do we want a democracy or do we want to be autocratic in the things that we do or in the way that we say things? It's not enough for you to come out and say we want the country to heal, and then one of your spokesperson, a serving minister, comes out with so much vitriol against people who are asking questions, against people who are going through the right channels to challenge the processes, except he's telling us something different. The DSS does not take directive, as far as I know, from Mr. Festus Keyamo. Labour Party is Labour. As our name implies, we are pro the people. We are with the people, and the people are with us. We want better, we want a better quality of life, better healthcare systems. We want everything to work better for the Nigerian cause, and that's why you see that the NLC is also with us. It's a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. That's what we were taught. It's unfortunate that the people at the helm of affairs have forgotten this fundamental, very, very layman way of expressing what democracy means, the definition of democracy. And the Labour Party does not dance to that tune. It is not our way, and we are pro the people. That's why we are in court. That's why we are asking questions. And remember very clearly that during the election cycle, Nigerians said it very clearly that we were running for the highest office through His Excellency Peter Obi, and he can't back down. So we must not forget that Nigerians have become very disenfranchised. Nigerians are hurt. Nigerians are distrustful of the system. And so the Labour Party is now, what we've done is now we've put the judiciary. We're making them accountable. They should be accountable to the Nigerian people. People want answers. People want to know what happened to their mandate on the 25th of February, 2023. President Muhammadu Buhari said he wanted to leave a legacy of free and fair elections. INEC themselves have agreed that there wasn't a free and fair elections. It was marred by technicalities that affected many things, affected the results. And so that's what Nigerians are taking to the court. And I see no reason why anybody who means well for this country would now come up with such a petition. Well, maybe he just wants to remain politically relevant.
Now,
and
talking
so
about
he's been a rabble-rouser.
Well, talking about the judiciary, Festus Keyamo also tweeted that he's excited about the issues raised by Peter Obi in his election petition, saying that all the deceit and lies, disinformation and misinformation will be busted by our law lords. Now, he adds that whoever continues to argue after that should relocate to another planet. Now, are you worried about the impartiality and neutrality of the election tribunal or the judiciary in this matter, or are you optimistic that justice will be served?
It's a two-way sword for me. When you ask this question, my heart is divided. Yes, there's a part of me that is cautious. There's a part of me that is worried. But then there's also that part of me that decided to become a politician, that decided to put herself front and foremost, that says there is hope for this country. It's not hopeless. And if we have people who are members of this judiciary who are activists, then they will do the right thing. So right now, I said it before, Nigerians have put the judiciary, Nigeria's judicial process to test. And it's left for them now to do the right things by Nigerians, by giving us proof and reasonable doubt if there is. It's time for them to show us that indeed, us who have remained in our country, those of us who want this country to work for the better, for the next generations to come, the judiciary has her work cut out for her. And I'm hopeful. It doesn't matter. I'm worried, but yes, I'm still very hopeful, and I hold on strongly to the fact that Peter Obi has done it before when he was with APGA, when he was impeached as governor of Anambra State. It was still the legal system. It was these processes that reinstated him as governor. So let us see. We are watching, and like I said, Nigerians have taken the reins of this thing, and that's why we're asking questions. Nobody should ask us to shut up. Nobody should bring scare tactics. It won't work this time.
Well, the stakes are certainly very high. Let's just hope the judiciary is up to the task. High. Thank you so much for having this discussion with us.
I want to believe that they are.
Nana Kazaure, always good to have this discussion with you, Labour Party spokeswoman there. Thank you so much.